Wednesday morning, and we are back in the paint shop, and we're gonna sand a bunch again today. We got the inside to finish sanding, the hood, the side piece covers that go by the hood, get those sanded. The wiper cowl needs sanded. But yeah, we're just gonna be sanding probably all day again today. Hopefully we can get all that done. Any body filler I need to get put on, like where Davey welded up the hose in the door and stuff, I can get those put on, get all that cleaned up, and then maybe tomorrow we can start spraying primer, because we gotta prime the inside. Okay guys, I got the whole inside sanded. Davey got the hood sanded. The only thing he has left now is the wiper gland. Once we get that done, I can start my body filler. There's a sticker right up in the center where like the rearview mirror would go. For the 2-ton, I'm gonna get that off because I don't want that on there when we are painting. So I'm gonna get that pulled off. And we should be ready to start filling our body filler over all the spots Davey welded up on the doors and stuff. The hood does have some dents that were hammered out, so I'm going to show y'all that, but it's going to need body filler because there was dents on it that were hammered out. So this right here, it looks like it got hit with something like a can or something, maybe a paint can or something like that, but it was hammered out, so I want to get that body filled. There was another spot over here, little dent, they got hammered out, so I want to fill that in also to give it that smooth look. So the hood needs a little bit of body filler. Alright guys, we've been spreading body filler for the last 2 hours, sanding it off, having to replace a little bit because it had grooves or something in it or a low spot. So we're on hopefully our last little bit of filler. There's spots like this big over where we already went. Hopefully when we get that sanded, we are done. In the meantime, while that is drying, Davey decided to go ahead and get our vent fan put in because we haven't put it in yet. We've just been opening the door and sticking it in the doorway. We bought one of the vent fans from Vivor. I'll show it to y'all in a minute. It's blue because we've been using it. but just out the door. So Davey is actually gonna cut a hole in the wall so it'll blow outside, and then we can leave one door open so it'll circulate air. So this is our vent fan once you turn it on. Actually got shutters on the other side that open up once the fan starts moving, so that way it'll keep some of the heat and stuff in the building when it's not on. But the ideal is to cut a hole on the outside, put right there, and then put our tin in here back on it. Our cutting on this side wasn't that great, but we're not carpenters. But anyway, it's in there. We got it turned on because we are trying to get all the sanding dust cleaned up now. We're gonna get the shop cleaned up, and then tomorrow morning, hopefully, we are primering the inside of the truck. We won't wipe the inside of the truck down until in the morning, and then we can primer. The floor swept real good and clean. Maybe blowing off one more time on the inside. We're gonna go ahead and get everything taped up. So we're gonna clean where we're gonna tape. We'll tape up, and that way when we come in first thing in the morning, we can just clean the inside and be ready to spray our primer. I don't think Davey approved of my steering wheel tape up. Got the pedals taped up, steering wheel, I'm gonna throw another piece of paper over the gauges, get all these, the ignition, the light switches and all that taped up. Davey is working on the passenger window, and then we're gonna clean this off, get it taped up. All right guys, we got everything taped up. Inside's all taped up. All our glass inside and out taped up. We don't want no overspray on that. Went ahead and got everything in here taped up that we needed. Taped up everything on the outside that we needed, handles, all that. Lights on these. Got the hood hung. About 6 o'clock. We got what we wanted to get accomplished today. We got it accomplished. Got all the sanding done except for the grill. Davey just reminded me of that. But anyway, we got inside, outside sanded, all the pieces that were in here sanded except the grill. We got everything taped up, cleaned the floor and stuff up, blew everything off. When we come in tomorrow, we will clean the inside, wipe it all down, and then spray primer. Just the inside, and we'll let that cure for what, 2 hours? I think is what it calls for. 2-3 hours. And then we will block sand, re-clean, and then hopefully spray our color on the inside. And then after that, we gotta wait 24 hours before we can tape everything up, close doors, all that. So, because we'll want to tape up our door jambs and stuff like that, so none of the outside overspray gets in on the inside. Anyway, we're super dirty. We're tired of the dust, so we're gonna go in and clean up, and we'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Good morning, guys. It is Thursday morning, and today we are primering and painting the inside. So, like I said yesterday, we'll start on the inside. We'll prime it. We'll let it cure for a few hours. Then we'll come back in, block sand it, and then lay our color. Once our color is laid, we will be waiting 24 hours before we can start doing anything on the outside, because we're going to tape everything up on the inside, door jambs and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's our goal today. Get the inside painted. So,
I'll give it a little bit, make sure the water's not good before I find the cup.
Alright guys, Rumplestillskin is in 3 coats of primer on the inside. We're going to give that some cure time, and then we will get back over there, block sand it, and hopefully spray paint this evening. But
we are going to address the wire that I think killed the truck the other day when we drove it. Megan found some breaks in it. I feel like that wire's just junk. So I'm gonna run a brand new one from the ignition switch all the way out. So.
Alright guys, this is the factory wire that we used from the 65. And there's a break there. Where's the other one at? There's another break somewhere. There's 2 breaks in this thing. There it is. There's a break there. So we're assuming this is our culprit. So we're just getting rid of this wire.
Well, it's mean. We drove it up the road, 1.5 miles, come back, stopped and got diesel because we'd only put like 4 gallons in it when we were getting it started. It's a 10-gallon fuel cell. It held 8.5 gallons, and I stopped almost a gallon short, probably half a gallon short. Anyway, yeah. But on the way back, I got on it just a little and in 4th gear, and it broke the tires loose, so it's time to sell it. I'm going to tear it up. Now that I know it'll do something like that, it's time to move it down the road. I don't want to blow up a 12 valve. They're expensive to rebuild. So, and the amount of coal it rolled, holy crap. Looked like forest fire back there, but it's black. Anyways, it did good. We're debating on taking it to town a little bit. But in all honesty, we're about to run out of time because we're fixing to have to start sanding the primer and painting before we want to get it done today. So if we go to town and goof off, we're probably not going to get it done today. So tomorrow, we're taking it to his place church for the Super Bowl party Sunday. We're parking it inside like we did last year with Tennessee. We're going to park it inside the church and let them put a display around it, hay bales and stuff. Probably, I don't know what they're going to do, but anyway. That might be its first trip to town tomorrow, so it did good though.
Very impressive.
I might have to play with it a little bit tomorrow, but now I'm scared of it because I'm scared I'm going to break it, which is sad. I shouldn't be that way, but I am.
When you put all that time though and work in them, you don't want to be the one to break them.
Well, it'd be different if it was my toy I'm keeping, because then I could put it in a corner for 6 months till I had time to fix it. The fact I'm trying to make money and make a living this way, I need to sell it. I don't need to be breaking it. And it might take the abuse for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and I mean fly on four. Who knows? Then again, it might not. But anyway, I think we're fixing to head over there and start sanding.
Alright guys, we got it sanded, we got it clean. Now we're ready to open up our paint, mix it, and get to spraying the color on the inside. Alright guys, we got our paint from Napa. Y'all know we like that Napa and Nason paint, so that's what we're using today. We really need to invest in a paint shaker. compressor. What we're painting. Alright guys, the inside of the truck is in 3 coats of color now, but you wanna break it down?
It don't really look like brandy wine to us. It looks a lot brighter, but it's what we're going with now because we ain't doing that whole taking it back thing again. Just waste a bunch of time. It might be. Never really paid attention to brandy wine. Y'all can be the judge if it looks dark enough or not, but in person it doesn't look dark enough. It might be. I don't know.
It might dry darker than it looked. It looked, when we opened that can and he sprayed the first coat, it looked very red, like a bright red.
Well, colors can be tricky too, so like she said, it might dry darker. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, because my preference on brandy wine is it's more of a maroonish red than it is a red, so we'll see. Like you said, we didn't want to have to take it back because that's a 30-minute drive to the bluff, an hour more waiting on them to mix it, so we didn't want to do all that, and we already had the color. They mixed us 1.5 gallons, so might as well use it. So we did, and I think it's still gonna look good, even if it don't dry as dark.
Yeah, it might not be the exact color we thought we were getting, but it's still gonna be, it's still gonna be close and look really good.
it's not gonna be green or blue, so.
Yeah, because we're stuck on greens and blues, so we needed help. So I have been wanting to paint one red. This is pretty close.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll see when it dries. The plan is to, like I said, we got to give the inside 24 hours to cure. So, like I said, that's the plan, to wait on it, then tape it up, and then we will spray the high build. And then we got to wait. How many hours is that?
I don't know, 2 or something.
Yeah,
like
2 or 3 hours on high
we'll
build.
Probably wait all night.
Yeah, then we got to sand it, do our top color, stuff like that. So that's the plan. We might be running to the bluff this evening to get an air compressor, or tomorrow, one of the two. We got to go get one because Davey don't think our air compressor is gonna make it through painting the outside.
It ain't compressing no more.
Yeah.
I told her I could just buy a new compressor to put on top of the tank, but that thing is like 15 years old and the inside's rusty. It's got a lot of moisture in it that I can't get out. Might as well just buy a new one. Get rid of a lot of the moisture that sprays with my paint sometimes.
And as much as we use it.
Yeah. And probably the route we're gonna go, just a new compressor, and then just sell this one cheap to somebody that just needs one in their shop to run an air tool every now and then or something. It still works, it just ain't keeping up with an air gun, with a spray gun. So that's our plans.
But yeah, so we're gonna go in and get showered because we got paint in our hair. Davey's got his nice painted red beard here going. Easy color dye. But we're gonna go get cleaned up and maybe run to the bluff. But we'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Good morning, guys. It is Friday morning. So last night we went into town and Tractor Supply actually had an air compressor. So we went ahead and just bought an air compressor there. It is a DeWalt. People are in the comments saying on Facebook, why would you buy another cheap one? Well, our Husky lasted us 15 years, so they're good. And it's not bad. Like, how do you say it? It's still working.
Why spend $4 grand on something that's probably only going to last 15, 20 years when we can spend $800 on something that also is going to last 15 to 20 years? Husky's still working, it just ain't keeping up to my standards anymore. I don't like how long it runs after I quit spraying. I'm being picky, but we're probably gonna sell it to somebody that just wants to run an air gun or air their tires up, or a tire machine every now and then. Yeah. I wish I had another shop to put it in, because it's not bad. But anyways, I guess we're gonna get this thing hooked up and try it out. And then we gotta take Eyesore to his place church, get it in the auditorium, get it set up for their Super Bowl party. But we're gonna do this first.
Alright guys, the new air compressor is in and wired up and ready to be used. But we still have to give this time to cure. It's probably gonna be 2 or 3 before we can start messing with this. Like I said, we're gonna just come in and tape up all the jams and stuff so we can close the doors, so we can spray our super high build maybe this evening on the outside of the truck. Like I said, we gotta get the windshield taped up and all that. We will be using the new air compressor if we get to do that today. Meanwhile, we gotta run that truck to the church, gotta run to Napa to warranty our spray guns that we bought from there. So we're gonna run to Napa, do that while we're in town. And then we'll come home. I've got to sand the grill. That needs to get done today. Well, we missed the back tire. Yeah. Alright guys, we just got back from dropping Eyesore off over at his place church for their tailgate party Sunday. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the grill sanded and stuff. That way when we're ready to spray our paint my build, we can get it sprayed. The grill ain't gonna get sprayed with it, but when we're ready to spray our cream top, the grill is gonna be cream. Hopefully gonna be taping off the letters and stuff, and I want to do the brandy wine / reddish color that the whole truck's in, and also the bow tie as well. So I'm gonna get this sanded, and then when Davey gets back, he's gonna bring the forklift down, and while we're waiting on the inside to still cure, we're going to try and get the body off of the lifted Cummins, because like I said, we're going to be using this frame and motor, and we're going to be using the transmission out of the V10 over there, so we got to get that body off as well and get that out. Alright guys, we got the lifted 12 valve pulled in here. Davey's gonna start ripping bolts out and stuff while I finish sanding the grill so we can get the body took off this frame. Alright guys, I just sanding the grill. Now I'm going to put it back in the paint shop. That way when we're ready to spray our cream, we can get it sprayed cream. Alright guys, Davey's in the truck getting the pedals and stuff unhooked. While he's doing that, I'm going to get under the truck, get all the body mounts out, even the bed mount, get all those bolts pulled out. So alright guys, we think we got everything unhooked and ready to pull the cab and bed off. We're going to pull the bed off first and then we'll move over and pull the cab off. But Davey's got to get it pulled out of the shop so we can use the forklift. Alright guys, now that we got blackjack on the lift, I'm gonna go outside, get everything taped up on the motor, and get that power washed. It's about 60 degrees today, so it's a good time to power wash because it's gonna be back in the 40s tomorrow, and then back in the 60s on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So I'm gonna get that thing power washed. Alright guys, I got this thing power washed. It took me about 2 hours because it was filthy. So we're gonna get all the wires and stuff stripped off of it real quick. That way we can get this thing pushed back in the shop and get it under Blackjack's cab. Alright guys, it is Friday evening about 6 o'clock and we're calling it a night. I did get the frame power wash, stuff like that. We did not get the chance to spray the color or the super high build on Rumplestillskin. We decided to wait due to letting the paint cure just a little more.
And we got busy.
Yeah, we got busy
doing
taking
other things. I pulled the motor out of the frame, that straight 6. I went ahead and pulled it out. Cleaned a bunch of the stuff off the firewall, the blackjack. That way it's getting closer to getting put on the frame. We still got a lot to do there too, but tomorrow we'll be back on spraying the high build and block sanding for days on end. Seems like it. Yeah. Anyways, been a good day.
Very productive. Nice. But it was warm. Yeah.
Almost 60 degrees. Or it was 60 degrees. Anyways.
Yeah, but we're going to call it a night, and we'll see y'all tomorrow morning. And that's going to be it for this video, so please like, comment, and subscribe.
Peace.
Thanks for watching, guys.